I think sports and rap mess things up. Dude, in sports, in gymnastics, you basically have to be really good, very young. Simone Biles, the best gymnast in the world, she started when she was like 3 or 4 or something like that. So this long obedience in one direction, for lack of better phrasing, is how you build a great career.
I think one of the most common misconceptions is where somebody is today is where they've been forever. And where you are today is where you're going to be forever. But to Alan's point, most of the people who are like famous now and they seem like overnight successes, they were just unknown for 10 years behind the scenes. Next Level Nation, welcome back to another episode of Next Level University, where we help you level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. Today, for episode number 1978, I was looking at my list, it was all Jeff. It's Freestyle Friday. And for those of you who may be new, Freestyle Friday is when Alan and I just kind of sit down. There's no agenda. It will be about self-improvement, for sure. It will be about growth. And hopefully it will be valuable, but we don't really have anything planned. We didn't...
There's a bug in my drink.
What kind of? Drink it up. Fire that down.
I'm going to put it down for sure.
Fire it down.
Yeah.
Here we go. Big gulps, huh? Nice. Look at that. Here, this was my thought.
Just so everyone knows, I was going to do that anyway. It's not because Kev said it.
Uh-huh. That's exactly what everybody was thinking. They're like, wow, look at the influence Kev has on Alan. He's so powerful. Such a powerful being. This is what I was thinking today. I've talked about this a million times, but it's always, you don't really think about it until it happens. You'll probably shake your head because you've heard me say this so many times. Things change so incredibly fast. And the new normal that you're experiencing, so much has changed over the last 2 weeks. But it feels like it's been months. And most of it is really good change. I would say the majority of it is really good change. But it's hard to remember what it was like before the change. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it's so easy to lose sight of how you got to a certain place. I think that's why it's so easy to lose sight of humility. Because everything's kind of easy right now. But it's not. It's also terrible. But I'm getting a lot of opportunities and I'm getting connections to people and people are just reaching out of the woodwork, and it's just very easy.
You're a big deal these days.
I'm definitely not a big deal. I appreciate the sentiment. That is what I'm currently thinking of. And I think this is the downside. We get to a place where we eventually get to a place where we hoped we'd get to. And maybe some of the things that we wanted to come with that place come with it. But that place doesn't stay forever. I don't think it stays forever for almost anybody. And that's, how do you juggle and balance and stay aware of that and make sure you stay humble with that? Tara and I were having a conversation today about a nice potential opportunity. And I said, I'm not gonna count my chickens before they hatch. I've done that in the past and it's burnt me and I don't want to do that. And she said, well, you're excited. And I said, yeah, I'm definitely excited. But I said, regardless of what happens, I will wake up tomorrow and I will go in the office and I will work really, really hard. It doesn't matter it's not going to change my approach. It can't. It has in the past. It's almost like when you get all the things that you wanted and many of the opportunities that you had hoped for, that's when you have to keep your foot on the gas even more. Not take your foot off the gas, because that is just a suggestion of all the work that you put in before. The delayed response and the delayed results of that have come to fruition, but if you take your foot off the gas now, you kind of lose the opportunity to build momentum on that. So, yeah, it's an easy thing to get confused by, for sure.
Well, when you're winning, how do you stay humble? And when you're losing, how do you keep believing in yourself? That's it right there.
Okay, have a good day, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Well, everything that Kevin becoming a big deal.
I'm not a big deal for those watching this, I promise.
Many leather-bound books.
0.
People know me. That movie is ridiculous, but there's some really funny parts.
There are, yeah.
All right, so that was a Anchorman reference for anyone that came out, 2000 or something? I mean, that was early, 2005, something like that. I don't know. Doesn't matter. useless information.
Yes. Yes.
The first thing to understand is none of the success that you're experiencing right now has anything to do with what you've done recently, really. I mean, yeah, somewhat, but
That's
I
so
think
hard, though.
it's so hard to understand that. Yeah, I know. It's really
Because
the last few years.
it's the last. I think it's a mixture of the last few years and then the last few moments of how you dealt with the opportunities.
I know. That's well said. Okay, so let's do this. Time perspective real quick.
Oh, Jesus.
Kev's 35.
I am 35.
35. Going to be 36 whenever.
Yep.
Technically speaking, these new successes, the new level, the next level of success that Kevin is now experiencing. Dream coming true, awesome,
Yeah, sure.
amazing, potentially. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch, but also let's get excited, but also not too excited. It's a whole thing. All right. 35 years it's taken for Kevin to reach this dream. But, okay, also, it wasn't like he was thinking about this when he was 4, so maybe it's only 31 years. Well, he wasn't really thinking about it when he was 8 either. Okay, so
Let's say it's 7
years. Yeah. So
7 years.
When you became a podcaster to now. So we'll call it 7 years. Okay. 2017 to now.
8 years. 8 years.
8 years. 2017 to now. March of 2017, the Hyperconscious podcast was born. Kevin became a podcaster. Now we work with, as of today, 69 podcasters, and I work with 27 business owners. And it's more than 69 podcasters because some of them are 2, you just mentioned, 2 per
co-host.
Co-hosts, yeah. So it's well over 100 clients. Okay. Awesome. Great. That was an accumulated compound effect over the last 8 years. And in the first year, we didn't work with any podcasters. We only had our own podcast. In the second year, I think you had gotten your first client. Maybe that was the third year. So third year, you got your first client.
2020 was the first year.
And this is the hardest part about success is it's such a long journey. I was telling a potential client yesterday, I was coaching her, and I said I started out as a fitness coach because I said Kevin and I have a really hard time helping other people with things unless we are doing those things in our life. So we help podcasters because we are podcasters. I help business owners because I'm a business owner. So I'm trying to grow our business as the CEO of the company so I can help you grow your business as the founder and CEO of your company. All right, so I said I wasn't a business coach in the beginning, but I was a coach. I was a fitness coach because that was what I was dialed in on. Fitness model, fitness coach, fitness competitor. Okay, then it was mindset coaching. Then it was peak performance coaching. Why? Because I was a peak performer. Then it became a little bit of life coaching, didn't do that for long, and then it became business consulting. Okay, we had a business that was growing 119% year over year from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. If we look at our numbers, I have them all tracked. We were growing by an average of 119% year over year. And Kevin and I didn't stay humble enough. It's very hard to stay humble when your business is doubling every year. It feels like everything's going to win forever. And so we got cocky. We spent, invest, team, everything. Let's do it. Payroll, go. Yeah, run it. Try it. Do it. What do you think about this? Shiny object. You just lose focus. So we had 24 departments. Now we've narrowed it down to only 13. We had 24 team members. Now we've narrowed it down only to 15. And this is the expansion and refocus part of life. But bringing it back to Kevin's point, when you're winning, you have to be very careful not to let that get to your head. Because the moment it does, you're going to stop doing what created the winning. But when you're losing, you also have to hold on to hope. And you have to hold on to believing in yourself and believing it's possible and possible for you and that it'll be worth it. Because right now we're in a very good spot. I feel very good overall too. But if we get cocky, we're fucked.
I think the thing is, you don't really know how you're going to react when you get to a place you've never been before. You have an idea of how you think you'll react, and you have an idea of where your mindset will be, and you have an idea of how you think you'll behave, but you don't really know until you get there. At least that's my experience. I had never been a business owner. I had never made any money with a business, so I was like, oh, cool, this is how it's working. That was it. I didn't really have expectations because I didn't know what to compare it to. I think that's the hard thing. Is like you just don't really. Again, I'll speak for myself. I didn't know how I would react when certain things happened. And then they happen. And then maybe you react better or worse or the same or different than you thought you would. And that's a new lesson. And that prepares you for the next time. Unless the next time it's a different result. So like, let's say a good example is getting your first client. First time I got a client, I cried. Cried my eyes out leaving that place. Texting my now wife.
We made it.
We made it, babe. We made it. And we did. That was the beginning, right?
I know. I don't. I always say this. I don't mean this disrespectfully, but that's very cute. And I mean that in a good way. I don't mean to demasculate you.
I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
It was.
There's a book
cute.
I'm reading called 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. 0 to 1. That's the
1?
hardest one. 0 to 1 is the hardest one.
0 to 1. Yeah. And how did I react? I feel like I probably celebrated. I'm sure I got like pizza that night or something. First time I lost a client was probably a year later after getting maybe 5 more. I remember the first time I ever had like tough feedback from a client. It fucked my entire week up. It was, no, you're good. The sky was falling. I was like, whoa, I don't know if we can do this. Yeah. Am I capable of this?
Yeah.
Didn't know how I was going to respond because I never thought it was going to happen. I thought you just got clients. And then you serve the clients really well, and we do. But we're human. We make mistakes.
Right? I love when you're this honest, man. I appreciate it. I really do.
Oh, that's the goal.
I just thought you get clients.
I thought that's how it works.
Hilarious to me.
Nobody ever talks about losing clients. Ever.
I know.
How ever seen an ad on how to deal with losing clients?
Oh, losing clients is the fucking
brutal.
Worst.
It's brutal.
It's so bad. Yeah.
Especially if you've never done it before. Now
sometimes it's awesome, depending on the client.
It's fair. It's fair. I still don't like it. It still doesn't feel good. But now the thing is, what are the lessons that we can take from this? Was this on us? We've had some clients who just said like, look, I want to try to do it by myself and save money. Awesome. Cool. You do you. If it doesn't work out, we're here. Come back. If you need me in any capacity, just shoot me a message. I know you're not a client right now. You were a client. If there's anything I can do to add value, please let me know. Awesome. We've had the rare ones who are angry about something, and more often than not, it's just they're kind of challenging to work with. We'll put it that way. But have we had clients that have left because we made a mistake? Yes. That's very rare, though. It doesn't happen very often.
When you say challenging to work with, you mean semi-entitled?
I would say very entitled. And here's a good, again, maybe this can cross over to relationships. If you've ever seen somebody who it's like every time they're in a relationship, the relationship is filled with drama and things are going horribly wrong and blah, 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 like they might be the problem. Right? I say that all the time. I was at least 50% of the problems in all my relationships. I don't know. For some reason, all the baggage that I had always seemed to follow me. Yeah, it's because it's my baggage. Yep, that's what happens. That baggage comes with you until you work through it. Point I'm trying to make with all this, maybe you don't have clients, maybe you're not a business owner, right? This isn't a show just for entrepreneurs. That's not what we do. Dream chasers. You don't necessarily know how you're going to react until you get the opportunity to. And sometimes it goes better than you think. Other times it goes worse than you think. But, creates an opportunity for you to react in a more aligned way the next time. And I think that's what's happening this time is I think you and I are just reacting in a more, if anything, I'm working more than I have in the past. I had that moment the other day where it was like, yeah, no, I've been putting in work. Mm-hmm. Just lots of work. That's good. That's good. That's good for me. That's what I need to be doing. So, I don't know. Yeah, you just don't know. How could you know? How could you know how you're going to react to something until you're faced with that? It's okay if you're disappointed in the way you reacted. It's okay. Hopefully, through our experiences and quote-unquote failures and or successes, there's a lesson in there for you. That's my goal.
There's something called bright spots and dark spots, and whether you succeed or fail, the process is the same, which is you go back to the drawing board and you figure out what you didn't know before, what you now know, and what you're going to do differently. And some people are more motivated by success. That's Kevin. Some people are more motivated by failure. That's me. Some people need to aim really high and eat humble pie. Didn't intend on that rhyming, but that's nice.
Rhyme.
Aim really high, you're going to eat humble pie. That's good. That's me. Some people need to aim low and hit, and then aim a little higher and hit, aim a little higher and hit. That's Kev, build belief. I need to build humility consistently. Kevin needs to build belief consistently. Then Kevin gets cocky and
things
fucks
crash
up.
and burn.
Yeah, exactly. The moment that you do. And I think that we all are probably constantly dancing between optimism and humility. Because think about it. Every time you get a result, you're going to get either more belief or you're going to get humble pie. Because if you think the speech is going to go awesome and then it goes poorly, you're going to get humble pie. If you think the speech is going to suck and you do well, you're going to get optimism and belief. And I think that's probably why action is the most important thing. It just keeps you grounded to reality. Action keeps you grounded to fucking reality. It does.
What if you're feeling something for the first time and you don't know how to feel about it, but it's because you've never done that thing before? Of course you're unsure of how you're feeling. You've never had the experience before. Of course. Like imagine, I don't know.
Yeah.
Imagine never have taken a flight. And you don't know anything about planes and you don't get it.
Yeah.
And you get on somebody's just like, "Hey, we're going to go somewhere." Like, "All right, cool. Where's the car?" "Oh, no, we're going to get in this thing." Like, "Oh, it's a car with wings." Bigger car with wings. Okay, cool. Why are we jettisoning down the runway at 200 miles? Like, what's happening? And then you take off. It's like, whoa. This isn't supposed to happen. No, this is exactly supposed to happen. But you've never experienced it before. So you don't know how to react.
This is why I
still do that, by the way. I still do. That's my exact reaction on every flight. Whoa.
Physics. So when I spoke to the kids at WPI, that's the school that I went to as well, it was so interesting because I'm 16 years older. There was one guy there that was 30 that wasn't supposed to be there, but the rest of the kids were 18, 19, 20. And those 16 years, it's just so clear. It's so obvious. Oh, you guys you just don't know anything. Got it. Because of the compound effect. So I did this post and I'm going to share it because I think it's the most valuable post, and I'm going to say this. I really do believe this to be true. I do believe it's the most valuable post I've ever posted. So since I started social media, I have done 3,187 posts since I started on Instagram. And this is what I believe to be the most valuable one. Hopefully it won't be a huge letdown after that build-up, huh?
We're going to find out. Only one way to find out. How long is this out of 10?
5,000 hours.
Okay.
$1 growing at 0.1% per day.
Oh, boy.
For 365 days. Turns into, wait for it, $1.44. Not that impressive. Okay. Now here's the idea. Do you believe, listener, YouTube viewer, person listening,
Human.
Kevin,
robot,
do you believe that you could improve by 0.1% per day?
I do. What's an example of that? Again, I think you lose people with the numbers.
Okay. An example of that would be this podcast. I am working really hard to not use filler words. That's why I have very long pauses, and Kevin can't tell if I'm going to keep talking or not.
What's 1/10? What would that be? So $1, 1/10 of 1% would be what? Less than a penny. No, that would
it'd be less than a penny.
So it'd be a tenth of a penny.
So let's do $100. It would be $10. It would be a penny.
So it's like,
right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're the math guy.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yes. just that small of an improvement. Like imagine if you had $10.
No, $100. It would be a penny.
$100, 1% would be $1. A tenth of a percent would be 10 cents, right?
Hold on.
0.01001 would be a penny.
Yep. Hold on.
We're so sorry. This segment brought to you by Math.
So it would be, if it was $100, it would be a penny, I think. I'm on it. I'm going to chat GPT this right now. Ready? What is 1/10? Yeah. What is 0.1% of $100? Yeah. It'd be 10 cents. So it would be 1 cent out of $10. Yeah.
But out of $1, it would be
1/10 of a penny.
So you would need 10 of these things to make a penny.
Correct.
That's how small these changes are.
That's what you're trying to make land? That doesn't land for anybody?
I just think when we start using like a tenth of a zero of a ninth of a tenth.
Yeah. It's 1/1000th. A tenth of a tenth. No, it's...
What the fuck's going on here?
No, hold on. 1% is 1 over 100. 1% of 1% is 1 over 1,000. Yes, it's 1/1000th. Okay. So you have to get better by 1/10 of 1%. Just a little bit.
The smallest amount you can imagine.
0.01%. It's 1 penny out of $10. Cool. Yeah, now I know why it doesn't land.
It's hard.
This is my favorite post I've ever done, and we're butchering it right now, but that's okay. All right. $1 growing at 0.1. You know why this is confusing? Is because you have to multiply by 100 for percentages. It's like 0.1% is actually, you have to multiply it by 0.001. It's actually 0.001 of whatever it is. Did that land?
No, Mr. Silvestri. I apologize for my
I
lack
do
of
understand
math.
why percentages are confusing for people. I really do. Okay. And again, it is what it is. Okay. $1 growing at 1/10 of 1%. 0.1% per day for 365 days is $1.44. It doesn't grow by that much. So if you do something every day for a year, you improve. If I improve my speaking by a little tiny minuscule amount every day for a year, I'm 44% better. Meaning I am 1.44 times this current version of Alan. Not that impressive, okay? Let me keep going. $1 growing at 0.1% per day for 3,650 days, which is 10 years, is $38.4. What does that mean? Let me make this contextual. So Kevin does an episode a day, more than an episode a day, honestly, but let's say Kevin does one podcast episode per day, every day for 10 years. He's going to end up 38 times better at speaking than he already is right now. You're already good at speaking. Now imagine 38 times better than that. It's mind-blowing. I get why it doesn't. This is how the wealthy get wealthier, by the way. This is how this works. I'm going to keep going, but I'll go quick. 20 years is 1,474 times better. 30 years is 56,000. 40 years is 2.2 million. 50 years is 84 million. If you work on speaking more effectively, a little bit each day for 50 years, you will be the most effective speaker on planet Earth, assuming you're intentional about it and assuming you never miss. Hello, NLU listener. Thank you, as always, for listening to Next Level University. Real quick, I just want to jump in and let you know about the Next Level Dreamliner. This is a journal that I use every single day. Achieve your dreams 90 days at a time. It breaks down your dreams into goals, milestones, and daily habits. We hope you enjoy it. The link will be in the show notes. $1, you can put this in a financial calculator. You can put $1 in a financial calculator, and you can grow it by 0.1% per day for 50 years, and it becomes $84 million. It's $83,543,000, but you understand what I'm saying. The point of all that post is, and this is what I wrote at the end, so hopefully this lands. I said anyone can get 0.1% better each day if they work at it? What if all of your goals and dreams are mathematically possible, but they just seem impossible without consistency extended over a very long period of time? Because who wants to do something every day for 50 years? That's the problem. That's all it is.
But that's a big fucking barrier. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, 50 years.
All anyone has to do, if they want this to land, real quick.
How old are you?
Hey, all anyone has to do, real quick, if they want this to land,
I got you.
Go watch a movie that was filmed 50 years ago. It's fucking terrible.
It's fair.
I watched The Mummy Returns. It was in
terrible.
2000, and it was
terrible.
fucking
terrible.
It was now I think it's a great movie, but the CGI was fucking
Is
terrible.
that CGI Rock one where he's
yeah,
like, he was like a
it might as well be a video
cartoon
game
character?
It was brutal on my new projector.
It's a big ask.
It is a big ask. I just think about 50 years ago, dude. There was no internet. There was no cell phones. There was no computers. There was no fucking Starlink. There was no electric cars. There was, what'd you say?
So there was no Alan.
There was no Alan. There was no Kevin. There was no podcasting. Podcasts didn't exist. That is the way that I think. And I hope that I can make that land one day. That goddamn it. I thought that post would do it.
I think we got to break 50 down to 5. 50. You're 36.
What if we just do 10 years? 10 years is 38 times better.
That.
Imagine if you're a filmmaker and you make a movie that's a real piece of shit, and then if you stay with it for 10 years and get a little better each day, you can make a movie that's 38 times better than that. And then 10 more years, 38 times better than that.
I think we just stay with the first 10.
Why? I mean, think about like a James Cameron. He's been making films for 50 years.
I know, I understand.
He didn't make Avatar until he was, what, 60
Yeah, but he's also an outlier because he made Terminator 2 and fucking The Abyss. He's talented.
Real quick.
The man is talented.
How old was James Cameron?
What else did he make? Aliens? Did he make Aliens?
Yeah. No, that was the guy who made Gladiator? No, not Spielberg.
Not Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott?
Ridley Scott. Yeah. I think.
We do.
How old was James
Cameron?
I know. How old was James Cameron when he made Avatar? Filmed. He had to be at least 55.
I don't know how.
Yeah, he's 52. Okay, I was off. He was 52. Okay, so when he filmed Avatar, he was 53. It says 53, depending on the exact filming date. Okay, here's the deal. And I used to be too scared to do this, and we're going to do it. It is what it is. I always used to say when I was a kid, my career won't even start till I'm 50. The reason why I said that is because you don't really get good at things until way later. All of the best directors are old as shit.
That's fair.
Meryl Streep has, 13 Academy Awards? Well, she's 70. I mean, I don't know if she's 70, but she's in her 60s for sure. Tom Cruise is 65 or something, right?
Doesn't look a day over 20.
Yeah. The point is, and again, I don't associate with any of these people, but at the end of the day, I just really don't know if people understand, like, you're not going to get good at things early. I think sports and rap mess things up. Music. Dude, in sports, in gymnastics, you basically have to be really good, very young. Simone Biles is the best gymnast in the world. She started when she was like 3 or 4 or something like that. So this long obedience in one direction, for lack of better phrasing, is how you build a great career. And you and I started coaching, training, and podcasting 8 years ago. We're not going to be we didn't even know who Tony Robbins was until he was 57 years old. He's 65 now. We knew about him, 8 years ago? I just wonder if people understand what they're capable, for the listener, what you are capable of is so much more than you can possibly imagine mathematically if you know what you're here to do and you stay focused consistently over time and you always, always, always improve along the way.
I think 50, it's just a big ask for 50, that's all.
Okay. Well, 10 years is...
Imagine my life plus half into the future doing the same shit.
Fair. Okay, 10 years, you're going to be 45. You're still going to be a young man.
I will be a silver fox probably at 45. You think I'll have gray hair?
So 45, you're still at the beginning of your career. You still got another 30 years of solid career.
Yes, but I think this is the difference, and this is the thing that often goes missed. I like my career, so I want to get better at it. And I think that's it.
But here's the catch-22. If someone else gets better at their career, they will end up liking their career.
Untrue. No.
Well,
no.
If you work on yourself every single day, you're more likely to be able to have a career that you love. That's statistically true.
That's fair. But I'm not just because you get good.
Yeah.
One of the quotes that I actually think is true is be careful at what you get good at. Because you might be really good at something you don't like doing. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think 10 years is good. I think 10 years is a good.
Okay, so picture how healthy, wealthy, and in love you are right now. Now multiply that by 38.
Ballin'.
38 times that.
Deeply
exactly.
in love. Jacked.
That's what we're hoping for. Now, it doesn't work as well with fitness.
I know.
Because fitness is biology, right? So career and fitness, this works. Fitness, not as much. Unless you are on a lot of drugs.
Maybe one day.
Kev, make it land. I can't do it.
I just think it's, I think it's just a smaller
Did you see the
time
post?
Perspective. No, I didn't see the post, no.
Oh, damn.
What was it? I saw the one about you fishing.
Oh, yeah. I want spring to come.
Naturally, of course, I get pulled to that. All the fish I can't
all the fish
catch.
I'm not catching. I didn't catch a goddamn fish that day. Not one.
I don't know. Are there any living fish in there?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy and I went fishing one time. We had a little John boat. We put it out into the place. We got home, and his dad was like, there's no fish in there, right? I was like, oh. Well, that makes sense. That's why we didn't catch any. I don't know how to make it land. I think it's just...
I'm going to send it to the team, and we're gonna throw it in the show notes if anyone's curious.
Time is the great equalizer. Time is the great equalizer. And if you do something... This is always my thought. I just tend to go with a quote. I think one of the most common misconceptions is where somebody is today is where they've been forever. And where you are today is where you're going to be forever. But to Alan's point, most of the people who are like famous now and they seem like overnight successes, they were just unknown for 10 years behind the scenes.
Real quick, I'm going to show you me 8 years ago. Look at this small child. That's why transformation photos are so powerful. Look at this This is when I started Alan Lazarus LLC. What you'll never learn in school but desperately need to know. That is a man-child.
That is you are a child.
100%. That's the compound effect. Now look at me now.
Look at the naivete in his face. He's like, everything's gonna be fine. It's not. It won't be.
It's not gonna be fine. Also, look at that. Look at that shirt. That's well fitted.
Yeah,
well fitted shirt.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? We all start out just as these small little toddlers. This is Kevin and I. Check this out. This is little Kevin with his frosted tips. Look at this.
The girls loved it.
Look at
That's me.
Little Kevin,
left.
frosted tips.
I remember that shirt. It was so comfortable.
And over here is me in the same classroom. Look at that. Little Backstreet Boy right over there.
Wait. I thought that was edited. We weren't in the same class.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
We weren't in
I'm
the
sorry.
same
It
class.
looks like the same class.
Yeah. You did a good job with it.
Oh, thank you. We weren't in the same class?
No.
No, you're right. You're right. But now look at the men over here. Look at this. Look at these couple guys.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Brother, now see those photos and now put the 0.1% in context.
I know.
Every redwood started out as a little...
That's what you're going to go to. That's how I know Alan's losing it. He goes to his redwood analogy. Every redwood starts out as a little turd.
A redwood acorn. Look this up. You owe it to yourself to look this up. A redwood can grow to 135 feet fucking tall. Probably even taller. And it starts out as a little acorn that looks like a little turd.
I think a good way to put it is, honestly, many of the things that you think of as wild in your imagination are definitely possible given enough time. It's just a matter of whether or not... That's the hard part. The hard part is doing it for the next 20 years, the next 2 years, the next 1 year, the next 5, whatever it is. That's the hard part. I did an episode today on Podcast Growth U, and there's the stats of How many podcasts make it past 8 episodes, 50 episodes, 100 episodes, 200, 300? And it's like 55% of podcasts don't make it past episode 8. I think it's like 9% don't make it past 100. That staying power is like the hardest
Wait a minute,
thing.
9% or 90%?
Oh, sorry. 91% don't make it past 100. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And then it just progressively gets...
So only 9% do make it past 100.
If you start a podcast with 99 other people, it will be you and 8 people after 100 episodes. So yeah, only 9% make it past. 91% fail.
And I think this is why staying power is something that's so powerful. It's so important. And that's why it's so important to find your passion and your purpose and to try your best to find it. Because once you have that, it took Kevin and I a long time to realize that he loves podcasting more than I do, and I love coaching more than he does. We both coach and we both podcast, but I'm going all in on coaching, one-on-one coaching, and he's going all in on podcasting. That's why he's the podcast guy and I'm the business guy. And so it took us years to figure that out. But now that we have that figured out, I'm coaching 27 people. Some of them, 3 of them are 3 times a week. I want to just do more of that. I love it. And if anyone wants a coach in your corner to help you dial in, I'm your guy. Please reach out. And it will be just 1% improvement every time.
It wouldn't be a Freestyle Friday if we didn't do math, if we didn't do quotes, if we didn't do how old is this director, how long have they been directoring for, classroom photos of Jeff and Jeff.
If there's any female directors out there, you gotta go crush, because there's not enough female directors, man. You notice most films are directed by men. We gotta get some women.
Unfortunately so. A movie that I told you to watch that I don't think you ever will, but it's a masterful performance by Christian Bale. It's graphic. It's called American Psycho. That was called? Directed by a woman.
Nice. There's a movie we just watched that Taryn would love. It's Raya and the Dragon.
Is it animated?
It came out in 2020. It's animated. It's awesome. She would love it. Female director. It was awesome.
Shout out to female directors.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, we live in a space where I don't think women could vote, get credit cards until like 1970.
It's nuts.
How fucked up is that?
It's really fucked up, brother.
I've
been very much into learning all of the history of all of this with Emilia and I. She's big into this stuff, and I've been it's really fucked up, man. Honestly, it's pretty fucked up. Sexism is very much a thing. And
yeah.
For the empowered women out there listening, go you. You need to. You don't need to do anything, but yeah, just don't let anything stop you.
Lean into your greatness.
And the men who don't like it, just
pound sand.
Yeah, pound sand, exactly.
Pound sand. All right, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, man, that was awesome. Thank you, everyone, for sitting with me in the math. Transformation photos are so powerful because of this. That's what that is. I mean, 3 years, it's insane how big of a transformation. Some people don't even look the same. There's someone that you and I'll use first names only, you and I went to high school with, named Rebecca. And she's been posting, I don't know if you've seen it.
Crushing it.
Awesome. Crushing it. It's not even, in high school, she was maybe not one of the popular girls. She was a little overweight, all this. Now she's just this machine of a woman, just absolutely crushing life. And I fucking love it, man. I love it. And the transformation photo is awesome to see.
Well, I think that's a really good way to put it is, imagine we were supposed to record 2 episodes. We're not going to record 2. We know that at this point. So I'm just going to keep going a little bit longer. Might as well. Imagine if you were to, so this is like sci-fi shit, okay? So close your eyes and sit with me. Not if you're driving or operating heavy machinery or anything that requires you to, Alan's falling asleep. You zoom into a transformation picture. And as you get into the transformation picture, it takes you behind the scenes. And it shows like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And it shows all the days in between the first picture and the second picture. And you can see little by 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 little. But again, in day to day, nothing looks any different.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you start to accumulate them, that.
I have a tactic.
Hit us with a tactic.
I have a folder called Perspective
Uh-huh.
in my Google Drive. It's a private folder just for me. It's called Perspective. That's actually where I pulled up all these photos. I have pictures of my birth father in here. I have pictures of me as a little kid. I have that picture of Kevin and I in middle school. I've got a picture of me at my most overweight with, on YouTube, I'm showing my fitness show, Transformation.
Jacked.
That's 2 years transformation right there. Dude, every day in those 2 years looked the same, felt the same, kind of sucked.
Yeah,
A lot
that's
of
fair.
that 2 years kind of sucked because it was dieting and training, and some of it was awesome too. But yeah, I think the compound effect of small improvements over time will always be my favorite thing in the entire world.
It's very clear. If you were a pull string doll, that would definitely be one of your sayings.
The snowball effect, the compound effect, the flywheel. I mean, you can take your pick, but small, incremental, daily improvements compounded over time can change the world.
I choose to go viral instead.
How's that going? Pretty good. What
7
what would be
years,
your pull string?
zero hits so far. It would probably be self-awareness is the answer to everything. That would be one of them.
Nice.
That would be one of them.
Our next episode, Our next episode should be Kevin and Alan's pull string sayings
I'm sure that would be a heavy hitter.
and what we really mean by them.
Nobody would buy our dolls unless they wanted to like rip their arms off.
I can think of at least three.
Yeah,
Three people who would want to do that.
There's a market for that for sure. It's like Stretch
sure.
Armstrong, Stretch Jeff Strong. Maybe that'll be the next thing we do. When you buy your Dreamliner, we're going to ship you a Stretch Jeff Strong doll.
Link will be in the show notes for the the stretch Kev Strong.
Jeff Armstrong.
You remember those?
I do. I had one.
Stretch Armstrongs? I had one of those too.
I had one.
Yeah.
I think I had an easy bake oven, but it wasn't for food. It was for like make like spiders and stuff.
Oh yeah, what was
Remember
the Nickelodeon had the commercial, right? It was
Something
that,
like that.
weird crazy scientist guy,
I
and
think
you could
so.
make
I can remember the smells,
Jello spiders, and
though.
yeah, Nickelodeon was. Remember Ren and Stimpy?
Way too heavy for the age that I was.
Yeah.
This is gonna break your heart. There's a lot of documentaries about Nickelodeon. Not a good place.
Really?
Our childhood is slowly being dismantled by negativity.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It's really
It is.
tough. It's too bad. It's too bad.
Well,
But
I'd
it
rather
is
know.
facts, and that's what
That's it. I'd
what
rather
growing
know-
up is. If
I'd
anyone
rather
wants
know
to,
the
anyone's
reality.
young, listening, growing in your 30s, learning. It is. It's there's some very depressing aspects of it. However, the good news is now you're less naive, so you can make better choices and hopefully build a life.
You can drive a vehicle. You can legally rent a car at 25 in the U.S., which is awesome. Not really. Remember, we'll get out of here right after this. We went to Florida one time and we rented this red Kia Soul, just a box.
Oh yeah, that thing was fucking sweet.
It was not sweet. And we returned it as we were supposed to. And I got an email like 3 days later. They sent me pictures, and there's like red, yellow paint all up the side of it. And they're like, yeah, when you returned it, it looked like this. Like, no, it fucking didn't.
Yeah.
And why did it take you 3 days to send me the email? And why isn't it in a different spot than it was before? And I said, Alan, what do I do? And he's like, I just stop responding.
Yeah, block them.
And I stopped responding.
They-
They just left us alone.
Some unethical companies just do that.
Well, what I've
Because
read...
some people will pay.
Some people will pay. What I read is the rental industry has changed a lot because of that. Because people were like, I'm not going to rent cars then. Like, I'm not going to rent the car.
Yeah.
Because you guys, every time I rent a car, it somehow gets damaged after I drop it off. So, a little bit about rent-a-cars, a little bit about James Cameron and Avatar.
What's your takeaway?
Freestyle Friday, baby.
No takeaway.
No, it's Freestyle Friday. That's my takeaway. We went all over the place today.
There
We
was
went all
one
over the
very
place.
clear through line.
Math is tough. On a public media, math is tough.
Last question. Why do you think, as someone who is focused on getting 0.1% better per day, why do you believe most people do not do that? Because statistically, most people do not do that. And you're someone who is benefiting tremendously from that process.
I have the answer. Ready?
Yeah.
4 words. Okay? It's easier not to. That. It's easier not to. Yeah. I could have slept in today. Ace was snuggling on me. He hates when I wake up. He claws me and tries to catch me and grab on. Sorry, dude. Daddy's got to go.
Daddy's got to get 0.1% better today.
That's it. Daddy's got to go to the gym.
Did you tell him? Did you tell him that?
No, he knows. He sees me. But it's easier not to. That. It's easier in the short term not to. And then eventually it becomes drastically harder.
How would you sell it to young Kev? The young Kev that didn't think he could get a beautiful woman, didn't think he could be successful, didn't think he was worth it when the nurse wanted to
date me.
Date him.
I know the easy road seems easy, but there is a time eventually where there is an off-ramp and it gets really, really, really hard. And the unfortunate thing is you don't know when that off-ramp is coming and you don't really have a choice. I mean, you kind of have to take that off-ramp. You might be setting yourself up. The present you desire and the present you so deeply long for might be setting you up for a future that you are going to hate. And then he would have been like, dude, get out of here, man. How the hell did you get in my house? Get out of here. Who the fuck are you? Man.
I gotta eat my Chinese food and watch Rocky 7.
No, it would be The Dark Knight.
Nice.
Nothing like a night of Chinese food in the dark night. Might do that tonight. No, can't. On a diet. All right. Next level. Yeah, what do you got? Quickly.
My PC is about to go.
Your PC
is
about to
quick.
go. Next Level Live, April 5th, 2025. Totally virtual, all-day event. $47 per ticket. You'll get access to the replay, breakout rooms, all that happy jazz. Alan still has coaching slots available if you are looking for the best coach on the planet. I said it, not him. That way it can be true. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. At NLU, we don't have fans. We have family. We'll talk to you all tomorrow.
Stay next level. Next Level Nation.